We've got to go look at our past, to understand so that we know how to go forward.
Yeah.
And I mean, if I look at some of my friends, the way they talk, they still also full of hate. And that's why it's going to be difficult. I truly want to reconcile. I truly want to reconcile. There was on my Facebook page a friend of mine, a white guy, who said that he went for the second time to the Apartheid Museum. And he really would like his compatriots to go and to sit there for a few hours to experience it. And these are symbols that government has set up for us to come to terms and to, after we've experienced that, those things, those feelings, to really reach out to each other. But what I found is that we shouldn't wait on government, We should do it ourselves. And we can, we're free. And I have a great friend that I met on Facebook, Marieke Hanneke, and she has set up Omitafel around the table. Let's talk. 2 weeks ago, a church in Langa had a cultural celebration where they're going to have eats and also tell about their culture. And the church here in Belleville asked me to go along to tell about our culture. And it was a wonderful day. You could see that people wanted to know. And these are the kinds of efforts. I always say, no one will know how it's going to happen, this reconciliation, but it's going to happen. Because I think, and that's where I'm sort of contradict myself again, because I think there's no way that government will have, a plan in which reconciliation is going to happen. Because it's not only a tangible thing; it's spiritual. And I think there's lots of things it's got to be happen for you to, in your mind, be ready.
And how do we foster that desire in people to have the courage to step forward, to reach out?
Yeah, to talk to each other. But for me, as a writer, is to write our stories and to share it with each other. And that is what we did in 2006, when a group of white women from Stellenbosch, who is a psychotherapist, Suzette McCarran, saw an article on me in the newspaper, and said to me, they're writing about their dads, but they look too pale. They like to color it a bit. Wouldn't I and my group come and join them? And so we went through to Stellenbosch one Saturday a month, and we shared our stories. We wrote and we published our book, Slaan by my Master Father. And a window went up, a window opened on people's lives, and we saw that there's quite a lot of differences, but also some similarities and themes in this book. It came out with books of alcoholism, of abuse, sexual abuse, and domestic abuse, and so there were also the difference of obviously there was poverty on the one hand, and so that is the thing that I believe in. I once said in something that I wrote, I believe in the short story as a tool of reconciliation, because it's the day where we meet and we find our truth.
So do you see still your career as a writer? There's plenty more to say.
Very much, yes.
And you find the time, you force yourself to find the time to write?
Yes, again, and at the moment very frustrated, because I need to write a novel, I need to write a book. I write poetry, and I've got 2 poetry books out, and so, but the challenge is for me to write something long, So but I started writing on my father, who was a soldier, POW during the Second World War, and suffered immense post-traumatic stress.
Mm-hmm.
It's only after his death that I realized, and that my uncle told me other things that that happened before I was born, that I realized it was post-traumatic stress. So I want to, I just think I could have loved him better, and I want to honor him by writing his book.